Hey, how should I start my introduction?
Welcome to I'm a Fucking Badass Fabrication. I don't know, whatever you want to do.
Oh, I don't know. Big Hoss here at FUNKHOUSER RACECARS. I first want to say thank you for purchasing our 62 to 65 Chevy 2 rear spoiler kit. Today, we're going to be running through a tutorial on how to install that kit on your 62 to 65 Chevy 2. So first things first, we need to protect the car, especially if it's painted. If it's not painted, it's not really that big of a deal, but I prefer taping it so you can see your lines. Makes it a lot easier for install. You also need to lay tape across the bottom of the deck lid right here, because this is where we'll be marking and drilling the holes for the strut supports. You're gonna take your tape measure, you're gonna run from this upper corner of the body, and you're gonna measure out 28 3/4 back. Take your pin, put a little mark on your tape. Same thing on this side, straight back, put your mark, and then you and a buddy, or you can line the spoiler up on the back of the car to be able to draw the straight line across the back for lining the spoiler up. So when you go to draw your line across this, if you don't have somebody to help you out to hold the spoiler up, the next easiest thing to do is to find something in your garage. Bar stool, some wood, I mean whatever. I know most people have stuff like that in their garages, so I'm going to demonstrate that right now for you. Now you're going to have to get a couple multiple pieces just in case, you know, you want to change the height or whatever. You want to make sure that the spoiler sits flat off the back of the car. We're going to set it on the back of the car, and we're going to adjust the bar stool accordingly. And it looks like it's downhill slightly, so we're going to start adding shims, or wood, whatever you want to call it, to the back of it until you can get it pretty much flat on the back of the car. And right now it's looking pretty good. And at this step I would recommend, if you're by yourself, get some duct tape. I mean, blue tape works, but duct tape is better, it's a little bit stronger. And I would lay a piece of duct tape on these corners where you have it marked on both sides to help hold it in place. So then you can go through and draw your line across the back of the car. All right, so you've seen the way of doing it by yourself. Now I'm going to show you how much easier it is with a buddy. Buddy, come here.
What?
Come here, buddy. Come here, buddy. I need your help, buddy. Come on. Now that you have your buddy, now you can do your measurement. Grab that side of the spoiler. Now you'll take it and you'll line it up on your 28 3/4 mark. And now that your buddy's holding it for you on that side, you both can use your pin and you can mark it straight across. Having a buddy makes it way, way easier, but you still can do it by yourself. So now that we have the car taped, or we have it all measured out, it's taped, it's ready to go, now we need to start attaching the bracketry to your spoiler. So you're gonna take this guy and we're gonna flip it upside down and put it on the other side. Our spoiler's flipped upside down. We need to install our spoiler mounting brackets. They look like this. They go here, 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 and here. Now, I won't be using hardware. You have hardware to install it. I'll be using Clecos. You can buy Clecos to help you install it, to make it fast, easy, especially if you're gonna try to like assemble it and then take it back apart and you don't want to deal with threading all the bolts and stuff together. I know how little bolts suck putting them together and then taking them back apart. It's awful. But I'll be using Clecos today. I like putting a double up washer on it to make sure that it holds nice and true. That tab is locked in place. It's good to go. Sick. So now that I've cleaned up my mess, I'm going to get back to installing the parts. So now that we have these brackets installed, you can either A, get your buddy to help you, or B, use your bar stool and your wood again, lay this back on the car, and then we'll be able to measure for drilling holes in the deck lid to actually attach it. Making sure that you use the exact same setup you did before. You can now take your spoiler, set it on the back of the car, line up your marks, hold, it should sit in place. And now from the bottom, you should be able to figure out and mark right where these brackets touch the deck lid. All right, so now that we've set the spoiler on the deck lid and we have our holes, you're going to remove your deck lid or pick your deck lid up if it's hinged, and you're going to drill those holes in the car. I'm going to remove the deck lid now. That way I can affix the spoiler to this deck lid. So now I have my stand adjusted. I'm going to take my deck lid off. I'm going to drill my holes and affix my spoiler to my deck lid. Okay, so on this hardwood deck lid, one of my bolt holes runs through this thick support right here. So I just come in and I open it up with a bigger drill bit. That way the nut fits on there for bolting it down. And we're going to affix the spoiler to the deck lid right now. Bada bing, bada boom. So you're going to basically do that all the way across. It's to stay affixed, and then we can put it back on the car eventually. All right. Perfect. So now the mounting tabs are affixed to the deck lid, we can reinstall this back on our vehicle, and we can move on to the next step. Get our wood buddy out, help us support this guy while we reaffix the deck lid down. What was that? Nothing. So now that we have the deck lid installed back on the vehicle, we're going to go ahead and put the strut rod supports in. These are the tabs. There's 4 of them that go on the deck lid. Your holes are pre-drilled. Affix them with the appropriate fastener or the appropriate hardware. I'm going to be using Clecos because it's fast and easy, and we're going to go ahead and install those right now. Now with those affixed in place, now we can move forward. We can get the strut rods. We can put the strut rods on. You can either put bolts or pins in them. They come with both. I like the pins because they're easy to remove. And then we're going to locate the lower bracket on the deck lid for drilling its holes and attaching the lower strut rod support bracket. Spoilers look sick. You see a car rolling down the road on the street and it's like, oh my God, it's got a spoiler on it. The first thing you think is, race car. That thing's badass. Race car. The kit comes with 2 that have nothing welded to them. These are your straight ones. These go in the center. The ones that have Heim joints in them, these are the spill plate supports. They go on the outside and point outwards. The Heim joint connects to the inner strut rod. The welded on piece stays on the spill plate on the outside. Now these outside strut rods, they are side specific. The hole is not perfectly straight in line with the actual pin mount up here. So you have to be wary of that. If you put it together and you're looking at it you're like, oh, the hole doesn't line up, just swap them side to side and it'll be fine. So I got all the upper parts of the strut rods in place. They're pinned in place. Now I can go ahead and I can affix my lower bracket to my strut rod piece, slide it in place. I'll set it on the deck lid, mark my holes, drill them. I'll come over to this side and do the same exact thing. Affix it, mark my holes, drill it, and then that'll make it so the the spoiler actually supports itself, and then you could remove your bar stool buddy and get it out of the way, and we'll be good to go. Remember that these tabs go to the outside for the spill plate support bar. This guy goes inside of there, and it supports the spill plate to the outside. So now we have our pieces affixed, we have brackets installed. We're going to go ahead and we have our holes drilled. We're going to go ahead and we're going to affix the brackets to the deck lid, and then we'll install these hitch pins. And these hitch pins will be the pieces that actually support the spoiler on the deck lid, or support the strut rod, I should say. So I got my work light out because it's dark. I can't see in the dark, unfortunately. This will get affixed right to the deck lid, just like that. And you can see the little bit of angle that's built into it. That's why these upper pieces are drilled angle. That way the hitch pin still goes through it and it looks nice and it's where it's supposed to be. Just like this. Boom, straight through there. And now it's supported, it's good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and move to the other side, do the same exact thing, do the centers, and now this spoiler will be totally supported and ready for spill plates, side supports, wicker bill stuff, and we'll keep continuing. So now we have those two installed. Our bar stool buddy, he can come out. There we go. Much better. Yeah. And then you move on to the ones in the center. Just like that. Spoiler is affixed, mounted on the car, ready to go. Now we're gonna move on to mounting the spill plates and the spill plate support brackets. All right, so next step, we're gonna affix the spill plates to the spoiler along with the spill plate support bracket. Spill plate support bracket looks just like this. They're universal, there's two in your kit. It doesn't matter what side they go on. The only thing you have to remember is that on the spill plate, they go tab down, not up, tab down. That's the wrong hole. I wonder if I should redo that because I put it in the wrong hole. One more time, one more time. You've got this. Now that the deck lid's all on there, we have our spill plate support bracket. Let's go ahead and affix the spill plate to the side of the spoiler. Now you'll notice that you have extra holes in it. If you like lots of bolts, feel free to drill the extra bolts. We provide you with 4, which is adequate for mounting. Now we're going to install the spill plate strut support. Now this guy is adjustable with the heim joint here. You have you know, maybe 3/4 of an inch, maybe more. And you can either use the pin and the bolt, or you can use 2 bolts. The kit that you get has both bolts, but not 2 pins. So on the inside, I've already installed this one. I put the pin on this outside and the bolt on the inside. It installs just as easy, and if you want to change the angle of the spill plate against the side of the body, all you gotta do is adjust this heim joint. It's very easy, very simple, and I'm gonna install this one on this other side right now. Let's go ahead and reinstall this guy. See how it looks against the side of the body. Looking pretty good there. Drop the bolt in. There we go. So now the spill plates are installed in this thing. Now we need to install the wicker bill tabs. You should have 11 of these in your kit. and they bolt along the back side of the wing to support the wicker bill. I'm going to install them right now. All right, so now we have all the wicker bill tabs mounted on the spoiler. We're going to affix the wicker bill to these tabs. I'm going to be using Clecos. You need to use the supplied hardware in your kit. This is the wicker bill. It is adjustable. The higher up it is, meaning the higher up it is here, the more downforce it will create. That's it. That's all of it. Thank you. This is Big Hoss, FUNKHOUSER Racecars. I'll see you later.